this bridge has 3 names. It's the King's Cross Bridge, because it was at King's Cross Station up in London. It's also called the Harry Potter Bridge, because what film series was it in? Harry Potter. And also it's it's called the Handyside Bridge as well, because the Handyside company actually designed and built this bridge when it was at King's Cross Station. So it was inside King's Cross Station for about well over 100 years, and about 8 or 9 years ago King's Cross Station decided that they no longer required this bridge, they no longer needed it, and they wanted to upgrade the bridge to a brand new steel and glass bridge. And instead of just getting rid of this bridge completely, they actually decided to give it to our railway, and to get it out of the station they actually had to chop it up into 10 different parts. Wow. So they actually had to dismantle it, put it on about 10 low-loader lorries, bring it all the way down from London, get it out of the station, bring it all the way down from London. And bearing in mind this was winter time, what do you think happened to the lorries as they were coming across the fields?
Broke down?
They broke down, and they also got stuck in the not in the snow, but stuck in the mud. Okay, so we actually had to use our digger to pull the lorries out of the mud and bring them over here, and then we used our steam crane to actually lower the bits of the bridge into position. Okay, and this bridge was actually then made slightly longer, so it actually can cross 5 sets of track. Okay, so we're going to go along here, and this is the bridge that Harry and Hermione and Ron used to cross to what platform?
9 3/4.
9 3/4. So we'll go along here. You can have a look down towards the station there.
Oh my god, the view's
so this
beautiful.
station is, does anybody know the name of this station? Where are we now?
Ropley Station.
Ropley, yeah. So we've got Ropley Station there, we've got the engine yard there, okay, we've got the up and down platforms there. Then we've got this track here that is going all the way up to Alton, okay, and you came across that road bridge in the minibus there, and this track goes all the way up to Alton, and our railway is a 10-mile railway. Now, when the railway was first built, over 160 years ago, it actually went all the way to Winchester. It no longer does that, okay? But we have 10 miles of track that go all the way up to Alton, and then the trains go up to Alton, swap ends, and then come back down, and then we've got the down track, which goes all the way to the other end of the line to somewhere called Alresford, and Alresford is our main station. So we've got Alton at one end, Alresford's the other, and then in the distance we've got Winchester, and that's where originally the railway would have gone to. Okay, so we're going to go along here, have a look down there. So we've got the water tower there that they used to fill up the tender behind the locomotive. We've got our different locos in the engine yard here, and then we've got our 5 tracks. We've got one track the up track going up to Alton, the down track towards Alresford, and then we've got our 3 other tracks going in and out of the engine yard.
We're so excited.
I am.
I think this is someone.
Okay. What, Thomas Tank Engine?
When this bridge was inside King's Cross Station, okay, can anybody have a guess what would have gone in these gaps? Any ideas?
Stop lights.
Or lights, possibly, or
Clock.
Clocks. Okay, so one clock would have been facing out that way, one facing out that way, and we don't have the clocks anymore, because what would happen to the clocks if we had put them back in here in the gaps? They would have
fallen.
not fallen,
Shattered.
but they would have gone.
Weird.
Not gone missing, but they would have gone. What happens to what happens to gone rusty? Okay, so so that's why we don't have the clocks there. But that's the gap.
Give me the
these
long
skips here
stick.
where they would have gone. And this is a photo of what the bridge actually looked like when it was at King's Cross Station. Now, during the Second World War, what was falling on big towns and cities like bombs, okay. Now London was hit really badly by the Blitz throughout the Second World War, but the station itself actually got hit lots and lots of times, but this bridge never got damaged, so it was quite a lucky bridge. So the bridge itself remained intact, but it withstood the bombing. And this is the brand new bridge that replaced it, so glass and steel. So we're going to go.
That looks cool, but what is it?
So can anybody tell me what do we have to put into our steam locomotives to make them go? Coal. Okay. So this is our massive coal pile. Okay. And on a normal running day, it takes about 400 shovelfuls of coal to keep our locomotives going. Now, what do we do with the coal to make the locomotive go? What do we?
You burn it.
We burn it, and by burning it, it produces
Air pollution.
steam. But
Okay,
how?
pollution.
What type of energy does it make when we burn it? Heat energy. Okay. And also, what liquid do we put in to make the steam? What
Oil?
do we boil up? Not oil, water. Okay. So we've got the coal here, and it takes over 400 shovelfuls of coal to keep the locomotive going. Now, this bit of the railway between Ropley and Alton, what can you see all around us? What are the trees? What are the trees sitting on? What are those bumpy bits? Hills, okay. And the bit of the railway between here and Alton, when the railway was first built, it was nicknamed the Alps. And what are the Alps?
A French mountain range.
Yeah, French mountain range, okay. Now, when this railway was built, they actually had to dig the hills out either side of Medstead and Foremarks, either side of that village, to get the railway through all the way through to Alton. And using all the chalk, all the rubble that they dug out, then they used to make the embankments that take the railway down to Alton and then down to Alsford, down the other side. So when you're going up on the train, they actually have to keep an eye on the pressure and the amount of coal that they're burning, because otherwise, what would happen if they ran out? If the pressure went really, really low,
It wouldn't be burning out.
it would burn out and come to a stop. Okay, so that's why you have to keep an eye on the pressure and the coal and the fire to keep the engine going. And can anybody remember what's the bit of the railway called between here and Alton? It's called the Alps. Okay, so because you're going uphill and then down the other side, and each shovelful of coal weighs the same as an adult pet cat. Has anybody got a pet cat at home?
6.
So imagine 400 pet cats, an adult pet cat, and that's how much coal. That's how heavy all the coal that they use on the railway every day. Now, when the coal is all burnt up, okay, the loco and the engine drivers bring the loco back here to Ropley. Then one poor person, has to go inside the boiler, clean out all the coal, okay, put it into lots and lots of wheelbarrows, bring those wheelbarrows over to here, and this is our ash pile or ash dock. Okay, so it goes from lumps of coal to that pile there, and then what we do a bit of recycling, because we use some of that to make paths like the path that you're standing on now. So we actually do reuse it and turn it into something
Can you
else.
not like reform it into like the lumps of coal to make it like reboiled?
Not really, no, because it would just be real powdery. It would be really powdered. But that powder, that ash, makes really good puffs like this. So how many shovelfuls of coal does it take?
400.
400. And how much does each shovelful weigh the same as?
400 adult pet.
So an adult pet cat. Okay, right. We're going to do in about 10. We're going to go. So, can anybody remember what's the hilly bit of the railway called?
Alps.
The Alps, okay. So the Alps is in that direction. Alsford is our main station, which is in that direction, okay. Then we've got Medstead and Formark station, which is right in the middle of the railway line, and then we've got Alton, which is at the other end of the line. Now, can anybody have a guess? Why does anybody want to suggest why is this railway? Why was it given the nickname the Watercress line? What was it carrying?
Water.
Not water, but
Watercress.
Watercress, okay. And around this bit of Hampshire, there's lots and lots of chalk streams, okay, that are fed by the River Itchen that goes through Winchester down to Southampton. And the chalk streams are really good. They're really good growing conditions for growing the watercress. And farmers were growing watercress in this area, and the railway came along in the Victorian times. At 1865, this railway was open, and they could use this railway to transport the watercress up to where could they go to?
Alps.
Across
Alton.
past Alton up to
Alsford.
what's the
Alsford's
capital of
London.
London. Oh,
Okay.
wow.
So up to London, and they could get there in the space of 4 hours. Okay, so the farmers would pit their watercress, put it into baskets called chips, put those wooden baskets in piles or stacks, and then put them on the trains here at Ropley and also down at Alsford, and then they could get up to London in the space of 4 hours to sell their watercress. Now, with the railway arriving in 1865, did it make it quicker or slower for those watercress farmers to sell their produce?
Quicker.
So it made it quicker, and it made the towns all along the railway better connected, and more people were drawn to this bit of Hampshire to live and also to work. So you'd actually have livestock on the train as well, so sheep, cattle, cows and things like that, as well as passengers. And it wasn't until the 4th of February 1973 where this railway was closed, and that was because of somebody called Dr. Beeching. And Dr. Beeching was given the job by the government at the time to look at all the railways across the country to see which ones were making money, which ones were carrying enough passengers. And this line was one of the last to actually close, and it was actually had a stay of execution because whilst the main London railway was being modernised, so that's the railway between Southampton, Winchester and up to London. Has anybody been on the train before from Portsmouth?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got the railway going up from Portsmouth up to Guildford, up to London, and then you've got the Southampton Winchester Railway as well. And this one was one of the last to close because they were able to use this as a diversion route, so they could still get from London all the way down to Southampton without actually going on the main line. So once they had modernised or modernised that main line, then this railway closed. But it's only closed for about 4 years until a group of about 150 volunteers decided that they would go to South Wales, buy back some of the locomotives from the scrapyard, buy all the track back or some of the track back, and for every mile of track that they bought back, it cost £12,000 to buy it back and relay it. And that was £12,000 in the 1970s. So in today's money, every mile would cost about £3 million each, okay, which is a lot of money, isn't it? So gradually they rebuilt the railway, and the first bit of railway that they rebuilt was the bit between Alresford and here at Ropley. And to begin with, to fill the tender up, so the tender is the bit where the coal and the water are kept. At Alresford, they actually had to fill the tender up. Instead of using the water tower, because they didn't have a water tower down there, or a water chute, they actually had to use a hose pipe to fill the tender up with water, okay? And people could buy a ticket to come up to Ropley and then go back down. And then over the next 10 years, so from 1977 onwards, they rebuilt the railway all the way up to Alton. But they actually had to clear the route back as well because it had got really overgrown. And this, all this was overgrown as well, so they actually had to cut all this back and replant it and rebuild it as well, okay? So on a normal running day, it takes about 50 volunteers to keep the railway running, so people working in the signal box, the platform staff, driving the locomotives as well, looking after the gardens, the buildings, checking tickets as well. And collectively, there's over 400 volunteers that volunteer on the railway, and some of them are over there. Okay, so that's why we've got a whole range of different jobs. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go along here.
I'll ask Gavin. Oh my god, look how cute this is.
Just stop there, just go into the side. Yeah, just go there. Okay.
Recording.
So, if every
little segment.
So the railway opened in 1865, and hands up, who's heard of somebody called Jane Austen? Okay, so Jane Austen, why is Jane Austen famous? What did she do? She was an author, novelist, okay, and her nephew, okay, who was called Edward Knight, decided he would actually build this railway across the middle of Hampshire, and he actually persuaded lots of people to invest their money into buying land across this across this part of Hampshire to build the railway. Now this station here, can anybody remember what's this station called?
Ropley Station.
Ropley, okay. Ropley was opened in 1891, and here is a photo, okay, of what the station looked like. Charles Lockyer, okay. He lived in there with his family, and it wasn't until 2010 when the last people living there actually passed away, and then the house, the living area, was then given back to the railway. Okay, so there's somebody living in there the whole time. So you've got the dining room and living room and the kitchen as well. Okay, and on here you can see some people on the track, and they were the navvies. And when this railway was built, there's over 400 navvies helping to build this railway, and one half would actually be starting at Alton. The other half would start at Alsford, and then they gradually met in the middle. And to celebrate the opening of the railway in the 2nd of October 1865, they actually had a very fancy dinner. One was held at Alsford, one was held at Alton, for everybody who helped to build the railway. And Queen Victoria's eldest son, who was the Prince of Wales at the time, he had heard about this brand new railway and he wanted to see what all the fuss was about it. So he decided to actually take the 5 o'clock train from London Waterloo, arrive in his very own royal carriage on the back of the train, and he actually went all the way down to Alsford. And as he was coming into Alsford station, the bells at the church in Alsford actually rang out to signal that he was actually coming into Alsford just to see what all the fuss was about this brand new railway. So this station here opened in 1891, and each station along the railway has its own station master, guards and porters as well. And we've got the signal box up there, which we might be able to go in later on, so you can see the levers that help to actually change the signals at both ends of the platform. So you've got 2 sets there, the down and the up signals there, and then the down signal and the out to signals there, and they're all controlled by levers to tell the locomotive and train that it's safe to come through the station and at different points along the line. So that's the signal box there. These trees here are called topiary trees, and those 3 there were actually planted when the railway first opened. Okay. And even today we have our gardening team who have to look after all the gardening, all the green spaces around the station. And sometimes we actually have to get a cherry picker, so a lift thing, to go along the tracks to actually be able to reach the very top of the topiary there. So that's what Ropley would have looked like in 1891. And can anybody remember when did the railway close? 1973. Okay. So it closed on the 4th of February 1973. Okay. And the track, so that's a photo of some of the track that they brought back being put into massive piles down at Alsford, and then they gradually relaid the track. Okay. Now in 1980, okay, we had our first one of our first steam galas, which was a big meeting of lots of our steam locomotives, and people could actually see our locomotives up close and have a ride on our mini railway, which was actually inside the engine shed there. That's our engine shed building over there, but now it's infilled that way. But it was very different back in 1980. And then some of our buildings have actually come from different places. Okay, so this waiting room hasn't actually been here the whole time. It was actually brought from somewhere else and actually rebuilt by volunteers, put back together. And also some of our other buildings, like the signal box, has come from other railways as well. And then we've had lots and lots of donations, lots of money from the lottery, lots of trusts and foundations and things like that. And our biggest, one of our biggest locomotives, which is called Canadian Pacific, okay, was actually built, it was actually constructed and put together by women down at Eastleigh, okay, and that has been a 10-year lottery-funded project to actually restore the locomotive and put it back together. It was down at Eastleigh, built towards the end of the Second World War, and it's only recently actually come back to Ropley. Okay, and next March it will actually be put back on the tracks for the first time in about 10 years or so. Okay, so it's been a really big project. But that locomotive is what we call a Merchant Navy class locomotive. So it was named after one of the merchant shipping lines during the Second World War. So Campac is very similar to 257 Squadron, that one in steam at the minute, and you'll be able to see Campac when we go up into the viewing gallery, and you'll be able to look through the windows and see down into the engine shed.
Look at the park on the 360.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
So you've got on both platforms, you might have noticed that there's like luggage trolleys, and the luggage on the platforms, you might have seen there's like under the waiting room canopy, there's luggage trolleys, and some of those would have had the names of the destinations that the luggage was going to be sent to. So like the one, I think the one over on that platform is like for Eastleigh Works and places, you know, like Southampton, Portsmouth and things like that. So people travel by train to go on holiday, but also to transport lots of different transport goods as well, like watercress, but also livestock, especially in the countryside like here, where you'd have farmers driving their livestock up to the station. And at Alresford they actually had something in a siding, which is like a branch of the railway to one side, and they actually had a cattle dock, so they would drive their sheep into the station, put their sheep in the cattle dock, and then the train would come along, and then they would load their livestock on board the wagons. So as well as having carriages for the humans and the human passengers, they would have areas for like the livestock and all the goods and the freight and stuff like that. So to take it up to London, up to Covent Garden Market to sell the watercress or whatever they were selling, but also to take it down to Winchester and to Southampton, because historically this railway would have gone all the way to Winchester, and then you could have gone all the way down to Southampton and further afield. So yeah. So if we go up here then. So just to let you know, that when the train is en route, right, when it's left Alresford, you might hear one bell that will ring, and that bell means that the train has left Alresford and is on its journey.
How long does it take to come down?
About 8 minutes. So the time now is, what's the time now? It will have just left Alresford, depending on how quick the passengers are to get on the train. Then it will arrive here about 1:10, and then you'll hear another bell that will ring to signify that it's actually coming into the station. And you'll see when the train is on its way, you'll be able to see this signal at the very end, so the white and red rectangle on the signal there, that will actually go down or up to indicate to the driver, or to show the driver that it's clear for this train to carry on its journey. And they might pass something called a token, where the engine driver has to take the token from the guard on the
key that they
platform.
showed us
Yeah,
in
so
the-
so if you saw the key in the signal box, that's the same thing basically. Yeah, and that means that it's safe and clear for this one train to go to continue on its journey. So you'll be able to hear the loco before you see it, and it will be coming up in that direction. If we keep away from the platform edge, so keep inside as possible.
See the steam coming. Yeah, they're all having their nice dinners. Yeah.
Food hygiene rating 5. That's good.
Let's just say I literally just took like what? A 50-second video.
Looking very steamy in there.
Ready for the later moving out on his phone?
It's alright, you can come up. The point, when we finish, the point goes out, so the water ends up there. You can go and stand up there if you want to, right? If that's mate is looking the top of the guy up top is looking down the road.
Yeah.
You can get it right slow, it does do that, quite impressive.
But it's hard to move forward a bit.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Just filling it up.
Tap on the top, looking down,
And then it will
bring
be.
the tail down to turn it off.
There's like a rippling snake.
Oh, it's down there. You're down there, down there. You're going down to Dave. Dave says, well, you don't do that.
There's always a day. There's always a day.
Aye? I'm telling that.
So,
Right, there we go, we're going to turn off
the
now.
back of the little honk there, that's the yeah, and then nearly every station, that's where they fill it up with cold.
Then we'll push the crane round then. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
And we'd have soaked you.
Aye. I've stood under it before. One at Alton, it was hot one day, I was a shunter. And I was hot, so I stood under the water crane. Yeah. It's all right in the summer. You won't be too keen of it now. We'd be really good. Yeah. Right, so now he's finished scooping water about, we can go up the point.
That's the cost. No! Contact cap, no.
Yeah, we do.
There's water leaking. Go, go, go. Good luck! No, I need that super cat. Stop it! Ah! Ah! Oh my days, that. Oh my days. Look at the snow. That's so much snow. Oh my days.
Have a lovely trip.
Enjoy. Have a safe trip. Safe journey.
That's my line.
That's my line.
I'm so glad this is getting.
Wait, when the next one comes, I'm gonna play rock paper scissors with them. Let's do one of that big one because this is a... Oh, it's a... Oh, look at that one.
That's lovely.
Is no one coming now?
Bye.
Safe trip. Don't. Someone say don't.
Kissy face, touching your phone. Don't you want me like I want you, baby? Don't you?
So if you set up those tables over.
Smells like gasoline. Oh, that's why. What snacks?
I see a man.
You see a man.